Hello everybody, welcome to the barn where we party hard but hustle harder. Now every Tuesday we usually go over a business model from its capital expenditure to your monthly expenses are, what sort of incomes you could see, how much profit you could make, what you could do with this profit to expand the business, and I just love creating those videos for you guys. But instead today I have to give you my top 8 tips for beginning entrepreneurs. And if you stick till the end of the video, I'm going to give you a special bonus 9th tip because I feel this is very important and these are basic fundamentals that I see so many of you getting it wrong, and with just simple adjustments you can scale that business of yours. I've done it, there's nothing special about me, why can't you? Tip number 1, don't get too friendly with either your clientele or your employees. Now this by no means don't have a friendship, but you have to realize you have to keep it professional to some degree. Now with the employee side, let me give you my personal story. Now I have a friend who just finished his high school, and before our friendship I would say was quite good. But once we started working together, I saw it's quite hard to meet that boundary, and it's very easy to offend each other as you're still friends, so you don't know like how can I say this in a way that wouldn't hurt his feelings, whereas if it was just another employee, you'd be more than happy to say it. Also when it comes time to negotiating salaries, it gives them a leeway and they feel like they're irreplaceable in your life, and you don't want that. Now for the side of the clients, let me give you my dad's story. Now my dad was so good-hearted and he would become friends with literally everyone. And by becoming friends with your client, it becomes so hard to get money out of them. That doesn't mean you don't treat them with respect, hear what they have to say, and treat them like friends, but limit your friendship. Don't start meeting your employees for drinks and meals, because by creating that friendship, you create hidden obligation and they will become your worst customers because they'll feel like now they're your friend, they don't have to pay you on time. And as I'll mention later on, this will cause cash flow issues for you because them paying you is how you're able to facilitate the whole of your business. You have to always keep that professional boundary. This does not mean you can't meet them out for drinks, but limit the amount of personal things you tell them, limit how like the activities you do. Don't go getting drunk with them, don't go doing, you have to keep that professional limit is all I'm saying. But still, you have to treat each and every person that comes in your life with the kindness and respect you want. This is not giving you an excuse to start treating people badly, or distancing yourself from those you care about. It's just knowing that when you're in a business, your business is separate from your friendship, and learn to start keeping that professional boundary, as it will save you a lot of time and hassle in trying to collect payments and negotiate constantly. For tip number 2, this may seem like an obvious one, but so many people, especially like the clients we look at, are not doing this. Like, keep your personal and professional expenditures and income separate. And this is so important because by mixing your personal expenditure and income into your business, number 1, it leaves you at a very high tax exposure. But leave that aside. Let's assume that wasn't even the problem. By merging the two, you're not seeing a true picture of what the business is about, what its true profit and losses. As for example, let's say you go eat out, right? And now you run that expenditure through the business, your profit margin is going to look low. As I mentioned in the business model videos, your profit is your income less your expenditure. So by running your personal expenditures through the business, you're looking less profitable than you are, which makes it so much harder for you to look for investors in the future, get loans from banks. Yes, we want to save on the tax, but really just comply. Like as I mentioned in the interview with my grandfather, the tax authorities are so hard to deal with, and by not separating the two and appreciating your business is not you. Even when you own your business, you're working in it, making that distinction is so important to also helping you with like point number 1, keeping the professional and the personal aside. Point number 3 follows up from point number 2. You want to be meeting up regularly with your tax professionals and auditors. This is because the tax man is a nasty man. And that's a fact. He's here to collect money from you. And especially in Kenya, the way they do it is kind of ridiculous. By forgetting to file a return, you run penalties more than $200. And like we've seen clients where they had a tax. In fact, this happened to me. I had a tax obligation of PAYE, which is pay as you earn, as I was misclassified as an employer. And I didn't know this, so I hadn't been filing my returns over the years. And I accumulated penalties of $5,000. So you want to have someone to be advising you and ensuring you're tax compliant, from the benefits, from your bonus declaration, to how you can even keep your tax below. Because trust me, like if you're in a business, the tax man will come knocking at your door at some point, and if you don't have your things in order and you've not been filing the returns appropriately, you end up literally getting bankrupt. Like I have seen businesses close down because the tax man came and literally brought up allegations and audits against the business, and this literally made them have to close shop because the penalties were more than their entire bank account. And this is no new news. And we feel like the taxman is fair, he's here to build the infrastructure. No, that's a government employee, especially in corrupt countries like Kenya, who's knocking on your door to try squeeze some cash out of you. Beware of them and make sure that you have these systems in place from day one so that they can't come knocking on. And you know the most ridiculous part? They won't come hassle you when you're new. They'll wait for you to establish yourself, know that you have some money, and come squeeze every penny out of you. Just be careful from day one. And if you're not doing the right things like bookkeeping properly, keeping your files in order, filing your returns from day one on time, who's going to expect you to do it when it really matters? If you're going to enter a business, start right from day one. Tip number 4, take advantage of social media ads. Like, this is not even like a super secret tip. If you're not doing this, then it's just negligent at this point, because social media ads are so much cheaper than the days when people had to use televisions and radio to broadcast their message. I mean, with just like $3 per day, you could reach hundreds of people. Now from those hundreds, if one just makes a sale and that sale is more than $3, there's your money back. This technology was created to be so affordable that new businesses could break the ice and barrier and show themselves to the world from day one. I mean, I don't even mean the ads. Like, you need a properly managed social media account. I mean, like in the days of my grandfather, they literally, if they wanted to sell something, had to look for a place, set up shop, pay the rent, get the inventory, and you literally can go online. Let's say, what are you selling? Cupcakes. Search the word cupcake, take a picture of one that looks good, like everyone knows the one in the picture is not the one you're going to get. Or, okay, maybe that may seem a bit dubious to you, then take pictures of the cupcakes you're creating, go to a free app like Canva, make a nice poster around it and post it. There's literally your shop. And like, if you're not at least taking that much initiative in the 21st century, then your business does deserve to fail. And I see so many business people coming to me and asking me, how are you getting clients? How are you running? I don't have a secret formula. I literally come, create content, post it on my platforms, and then people see it and they reach out to me. That's it. There's no secret special sauce or formula. If you're not using social media, a tool that literally sits in your pocket right now for free, then it's just pure negligence at this point. Point number 5, you want to ensure that you're always cash flow positive. Even if this means reducing the quality of your products and services, even though this goes against intuition, go for it. Because if you're always running dollar to dollar, as I was doing a couple months ago, where every time I got a new client, I get a new employee or get a new infrastructure, you don't realize that that employee may be temporary or they may be a bad paymaster, and as a result, you could fall into cash flow negative very easily, and then you struggle to paying the bills, which are the running expenditure of your business, and when that happens, you're just on a downward hill. Always ensure, as a rule of thumb, you're at least, like, especially when you scale up, or at least you're striving to have a cash flow per month that is at least 2 to 3 times more than your monthly expenditure. and that you already have money aside in the bank to cover 6 months worth of expenses, as I always tell you. Because right now you may be in a good situation where you have the best clientele and money is coming in. If you go on a spending spree, and you're always like running dollar to dollar in your business without considering having that cash flow, a day will come, I promise you, where one client will leave. You will have one dispute. You will have one paymaster. Everyone feels it doesn't happen to me, but it does. That's the business world we live in. If you are not prepared for that circumstance, what will you do? For example, let's say you have this one client that's paying 2 employees' bills. That person walks away. This literally happened to me, and that's why I'm being specific about one client paying for 2 employees' bills. Now, that one client went away and I promised these 2 employees their monthly pay, and they've been working for me. I literally did not have the money at the time to pay for these employees. I had to go to the bank, get a loan, pay them, and I'm still paying interest on clearing that loan. So you do not want to get in that situation. I made the mistake, so you don't have to. Make sure, please make sure this one you take seriously, and it's still affecting me till today. Tip number 6, you want to learn how to use debt. As I've mentioned before in this video, on my channel, people take debt as a very taboo thing, and you have to stay away from it or your life will be ruined. That is the number 1 fact that the 1% of the people want you to know, such that they are able to get richer, because the rich know how to use debt. And it's very simple. Every time you go in debt, what happens is you have to pay back the principal and interest at a fixed rate, most likely monthly. Now, going back to my previous tip, so long as you're cash flow positive and you ensure that your monthly expenses are covered, including your interest and the principal that you have to pay back every month, why wouldn't you go into debt? Because this allows you to have access to a lot more capital without actually having made that money. Now you can use this capital, and if you're stupid, don't go into debt. If you feel like this is not for you, seriously don't. It could ruin your life. But if you learn how to use it, now you can go take that debt, finance a lot of capital. For example, let's say you want to start a video marketing agency like I have. I went with the debt, I financed my lights, the camera, my laptop, and now yes, I have to pay back every month, but now I'm able to charge a higher premium to my clients without actually having made any money to do so. Now you have to ensure one thing with your debt. Please make this a priority to clear up, as ruining your credit score can literally have numerous implications in your life, such that later when you would need a loan for, like, let's say buying your house or whatever it may be, to get the second loan will be a lot harder. Do not ever default in this. And as I'm saying again, I have to repeat myself, if you feel like you're the person that still hasn't mastered debt and you don't have a good idea on this, please don't go into debt, and you might as well find other opportunities, such as selling some equity of your business for someone to fund it for you. Because although that may not be optimum and you're diluting your shareholding such that your profit is going down, it's a lot better than literally putting yourself in financial ruin where someone's knocking on your door every single day for money that you don't have and you have to declare bankruptcy. But that being said, whoever you are, you're not too stupid to learn. You can go and get the financial education you need to learn how to use debt. Personally, I can't offer you that education as it's a very complex topic, but there are tons of online courses and books you can read from my favorite Rich Dad Poor Dad to start understanding debt. First, understand debt, become more comfortable with debt, and then you can put a ring on it. Point number 7 is you want to leave all short-term gratification. And I know this is an easier thing said than done, because when you get a degree, whatever, and you get employed, usually you'll go work at a very fancy office with an espresso machine where like snacks are brought to you, and people will post this on their social media, and you'll see, wow, being employed is fantastic. But as a new business owner, your office may be a shed, your capital may be very less, and if you start looking at short-term gratification, A, your business will never grow. because you'll always be spending in unnecessary things such as a better looking table when you already had one. It didn't look as good but was functional. A better office, you don't even have the staff but you're paying more rent. But if you let go of all this noise that's outside, like you don't want your better office, you don't want to have a fancy PA or PR or CEO, CFO, SECDAA, all those big fancy titles, and you just focus on working inside your business and trying to grow it into something it can be, and not looking at people's comments on you like, wow, I'm in this office, look at you, you're in a shed. If you're able to turn out that noise and keep reinvesting into the business, get a bit more better capital, when it's time, hire that one better staff and keep on slowly building, you will have a better table than the table he's working on for someone else. To be in business, you need to have a very thick skin. When you see people posting pictures on their private jets, wearing their Rolexes, you have to have so much self-confidence to realize you don't need that, because your goals and ambitions are so much bigger. Turn off all the noise and you'll see the volume of your life going. For point number 8, I've mentioned this before on my channel, but I'm going to keep emphasizing it till the day I die, because it is the #1 successful contribution towards the barn and the place where we are right now. Sorry, I just muddled up my words, but this point is like home to me. I would say like this is the #1 secret tip that you must have, and that is to delegate from day one. That is because, as Warren Buffett says, you want to be working on your company, not in it. Every task, including the ones you enjoy, can be done better by someone else who actually went and studied it, maybe in university, or has had job experience in it. Now, of course, if you're a beginning business, this may not be the most practical step, as you want to be doing the initial things and not running your expenditure in unnecessary directions. But if you're doing a sensible business, you should have enough money into getting your first employee. Always try and strive, how can I get #2, #3? Even if it's not employees, how can I increase my capital, such as getting robots to do the functions I don't want to do in the business, or even you may enjoy and can do it, but you don't have to. That way, this business can become purely passive, as people are managing it for you and running it for you, such that you don't have to do any work, but as the majority shareholder, you enjoy the profits and you can just relax while you see this beautiful empire being built around you. Now, one thing people say, I'm scared, what if people steal my secret? What if they start stealing from the business if I'm not managing it? #1, you have to look for employees who are trustworthy. I know it's easier said than done, but there are nice people out there and you can see genuine when you talk to it. And furthermore, by putting the right internal controls into place, such that before a check is authorized, 2 people must sign it who are in different buildings, and having a motorbike rider deliver it from point A to point B, or putting inventory systems into check where every time someone wants to get inventory they must use a card, putting passwords in bank accounts that are changed regularly and you're in the loop. Simple internal controls can minimize theft. At about the point of people getting your secrets and leaving, let them. If they are smart enough to run their own business, then they were never going to work at your company long term. You might as well have had them in your business while they were there, get the benefits from them, and then wish them luck. And who knows, you may still have a beautiful business relationship moving forward. And only 1% of the world are entrepreneurs. So now that guy, if he fails, he'll be looking for a job and you can get him back on board at like half the price. It's a win-win scenario. Don't ever be worried of someone leaving you to do something better, because there's no job and no one who's irreplaceable. Before I give you guys my super special bonus 9th tip as promised in the start of this video, please hit the like button. Since you've reached the video thusly, you are enjoying it. Leave down in the comment section below any tips I may have missed out that are sensible to this conversation I'm trying to create, or any other topics you want me to elaborate on, or anything else you want me to dive in related to business for next week's episode. But that being said, with tip number 9, as cliche as it may sound, is be patient, as business growth is exponential. And let me just give this to you with my first story. Initially, getting my first client was quite hard. But that first client was able to refer 2 more clients to me to spread through the word of mouth. And now those 2 clients, one got me 1 client and the other one actually got me 3 more clients. So the word of mouth above any marketing strategy is the biggest asset you can try and build for yourself. Because as the word of mouth spreads, you're going to get more and more people who are working under you, and each of them recommend 1 more person to give you a literal exponential growth. So what does this mean? Be patient in your business. If you even have 1 client, you're doing something right. Focus on giving them the best quality experience, being the most punctual, being the most desirable guy in the market. Make yourself irreplaceable to them, and you see 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, you will have built an empire that's successful. There is no business that I've seen that was an overnight success. Right now Elon Musk is trending, but you didn't consider he had to build PayPal, he had to have many rocket launch fails, and he just became a billionaire in his 40s. Warren Buffett became a billionaire in his 50s. Bill Gates became a billionaire in his 50s. So my question to you is, if all these great people did it so late, why are you rushing yourself? I mean, you can't be there at 20 years old playing on your iPad and watching videos like this without taking action and expect all the brilliant results. Be patient with yourself. Focus on getting 1 client. Execute that well. See how can you manage 2. How can you expand for the future? And just take it 1 step at a time, and before you know it, you look back after taking 1 step, and it may seem like slow growth, but you look back and realize, like, holy shit, look what I've built. And for me, this epiphany just hit me yesterday in the shower. Like, a year ago, Barn was nothing. Right now, we're able to produce successful content for you every single weekday. We have 4 clients who are currently under our services, with 1 client actually wanting to create YouTube videos like the one I'm creating for you guys. We've already reached like hundreds of subscribers, and things are going well for us. Now that I look back, I'm like, whoa, but it wasn't overnight. It was time of planning, looking for new employees, working my 9-to-5 job to fund this. It was all a gradual process. If you don't really fall in love with the process, you will never ever get the results. Thank you guys, this has been an amazing episode, but for now, peace.